Here's what's coming today on the Woodworking Network podcast.
And put this bowl of sawdust down in front of us and says, guys, we're going to have some changes around here. I'm quitting the steel mill and starting my own cabinet shop. And from now on, we're going to be eating sawdust for breakfast.
Welcome to the 5th season of the Woodworking Network podcast and a new episode. Join us as we explore the business of woodworking, big and small, and what it takes to succeed. I'm Will Sampson. Today's episode is sponsored by FDMC Magazine. We'll be talking about a new, exciting woodworking technology networking event with Brady Lewis, founder of the innovative software company Almoxy. But first, I want to talk about technology, tradition, and change. What does it take for someone to adopt new technology or a different way of doing things? I started thinking about this fundamental issue recently when I came to the realization that, at least in the woodworking industry, we often only adopt new methods because we have to. One would think that as soon as someone comes up with a new idea, a new way of doing something, or an innovative technology, if this new thing is really good, it would immediately catch fire and spread with enthusiastic adherents. The problem is that there's always some level of inertia that slows that process down. Maybe the new technology is too expensive or too difficult to learn or forces us to abandon too many things that we were quite comfortable to use in the past. It seems we must reach a pain point where the problems of keeping old methods are simply too painful to bear. So we are willing to make the effort to pay the price to try something new. Take the much touted and much maligned metric system. Traditional American woodworkers will tell you they love the imperial system because its fractions-based measure makes it easier to divide things into equal measures. Setting up a tenon on 3/4-inch stock is a breeze, just divide it into 3 equal 1/4-inch parts. If that board is 19 millimeters, the division gets more complicated, equal parts measuring 6.33 millimeters, having 5/8 of an inch is 5/16 of an inch, rather than dividing 15.875 millimeters by 2. Yeah, I know, just round it up to 16 millimeters and your half is 8. Well, sometimes you can do that. But then we come up to the modern reality that too many people started out in woodworking these days can't actually read a tape measure or calculate fractions. Think of the famous business case of A&W restaurants trying to compete with McDonald's Quarter Pounder by offering a 1/3 pound burger. But people thought that a 1/4 pound was more than 1/3 of a pound. Or think of all the mistakes made in your shop by someone misreading fraction marks on a tape. Some shops made the leap to using the metric system not because they recognized it was inherently superior, but because they gave up trying to train workers to deal with fractions. Sometimes we are running away from the past rather than running toward the future. Still, we wind up moving forward after all, but it's frustrating. Let's face it. We rarely just embrace change because of its positive merits. It's all too comfortable to say, we've always done it this way. But what happens when some kind of challenge or crisis develops that raises the frustrations of what you've always done past the point you can bear? Salesmen are often told to sell something based on the benefits rather than its features, because the customer likely won't recognize the value of the features without understanding the benefits. Just because something is faster doesn't mean it's better unless we can show how the increased speed benefits us. Early adopters of new technology are often those who have the vision to see the benefits themselves. For the rest of us, it might take suffering a serious pain point before we leap ahead. Before we get to our interview with Brady Lewis, let's pause for a word from our sponsor. FDMC Magazine is your vital source of information to improve your woodworking business. Whether it is keeping you apprised of the latest advances in manufacturing, helping you solve your wood technology problems with Gene Wenger, or inspiring you with case histories about successful businesses and best practices, FDMC Magazine is there to be the sharpest business tool in your shop. Learn more and subscribe for free at woodworkingnetwork.com/FDMC. Now let's talk about wood technology with Brady Lewis. Today our guest is Brady Lewis, founder of the innovative software company Almoxy and a principal in a new Wood Tech Summit operation that we are in partnership with the Woodworking Network. And I'd like to welcome you to the Woodworking Network podcast, Brady.
Thanks, Will. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm really excited to be here today. Thanks.
Well, that's great. Now, your current company, Almoxy, grew out of your experience running your family's cabinet business. Tell us how you make the transition from cabinets to software, and a short deal, a little bit. What is Almoxy for folks who are not familiar?
Okay, sure. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about Almoxy. The purpose isn't our product or anything, but I do think it's probably relevant to why would I be involved with the Woodworking Network on a Wood Tech Summit. So I'll definitely hit on that. I got into technology through the woodworking industry. I'm first and foremost a woodworker. My dad quit his steel mill job when I was about 7 years old. I remember he came in. The way that he told us that he was going full time into woodworking is he brought in a bowl of sawdust and he sat it down in front of us. I'll never forget this. And we were all, me and my brothers, were all sitting at the bar in our tidy whitey underwear, getting ready to eat our morning cereal. And he put this bowl of sawdust down in front of us and says, "Guys, we're going to have some changes around here. I'm quitting the steel mill and starting my own cabinet shop. And from now on, we're going to be eating sawdust for breakfast." and I remember me and my brothers were looking at each other and we're like, okay, well, let's do this. We were in support. Fortunately, we never had to eat sawdust, but so from very early on, woodworking and manufacturing has been a part of my life. I've been standing on, since I was little, standing on a bucket, sanding doors with an orbital sander. To this day, I will take on anybody in a sanding contest to remove cross grains from a 5-piece door. So, but anyway, so grew up in that, and in my early 20s was running my dad's manufacturing plant, and realized that, hey, we need software. Like, this is every bit as important as the machinery and the people on the floor is the data. And so we started working on a few things internally and ended up building a solution that worked for us very well. And then customers started asking if they could buy it. And then I was like, wow, maybe I'm going to be in the software business as well as in the woodworking business. And that's exactly what happened. There were, there's four of us, four brothers, and my dad. And so I kind of went off in the software direction while they held down the fort at the manufacturing plant. And we ran side by side for years. So I've been, in the industry. It's been a part of my life, and it's in my blood since as early as my whole career, and as early as I can remember. So I'm that's kind of the quick version, and what gives me, I guess, a little bit of a duality to why I can talk to woodworkers about technology. Is that kind of what you're looking for, Will?
Yeah, I think so. In the past, I think there was a lot of resistance to new technology, whether it was in production, engineering, design, or even bookkeeping. Heck, I was involved with lean manufacturing back in the 1980s, and some people still consider it some newfangled thing today. Do you think that that's finally going away as younger folks take over management?
I will say 100% yes. I have seen, you go back to the 80s and, probably, I would say like 2005 and older, we were operating on the same technology as we were, I don't know, since the 40s. There weren't a lot of shifts from 40 to 2005. then, in 2005, you started to see the early adopters, and this is kind of the all Moxie startup era, when my software company started to kind of uh, emerge. And you had lots of software in the industry, Cabinet Vision 2020, and some of these guys, Mosaic, and we're starting to emerge. But it was mostly drafting, mostly you know early adopters. In my case, people that were going to go to the web early on were very early adopters. But all this to say, in the past 5 years, I've seen a huge shift. All of a sudden, in the past 5 years, everyone is ready for the web. Everyone's ready to get online. We're all used to ordering on Amazon and watching Netflix, and it's sort of become an everyday part of life. The web has, and so it's for sure bled into our industry, and I, for one, am welcoming it wholeheartedly.
What do you tell people who are hesitant about new technology? What do you tell them to reassure them?
Oh man, I mean, it's kind of just a hard answer. You've got to use it to survive. You can be completely, quote, techless, and by tech I mean computers, right? Because technology can mean a better way to sharpen your knives. But what I'm saying is, what we're talking about here are, tech as it involves computers. But you know you can be a hobbyist. You can, or if that's completely your niche, that you're a completely technology less company, and you can find a niche market for that, then okay. But those are very rare cases. For the majority of us in this industry, really, if you're not adopting tech, you're going to be losing out on major technological advances that are going to keep you profitable. And the more people that implement, the more it behooves all of us to keep up on that implementation. So it's just kind of the hard answer is, you've just got to adapt and dive into it, or you're gonna flounder.
Yeah, yeah. Now, in addition to your software enterprise, of course, you're involved in this new special networking event along with Woodworking Network, called the Wood Tech Summit. Tell us what that's about and how did it come about?
Oh, we're so excited about this. It's been the culmination of an idea we've had for years and years, and I think right now is finally the right time in our industry. We are out here in beautiful Utah, where, right before you pressed record, we were talking about how I had 24 inches of snow last night, and our license plate says "greatest snow on earth." So we're out here in this beautiful place, and we wanted to both incorporate an event where we can speak about something we're passionate about and get people out here to ski if they're interested in that. We won't talk too much about the skiing, but I'm looking out my window and it's beautiful, and I see the mountains, so I had to mention it. But that is part of it. It's, we all like to have a little bit of fun while we do our work, but the work part of this, the technology part, is that we really see in our industry there are certain topics in tech that are easy to talk about. Selling online, um, the things that we're all, they're kind of like the, quote, sexy topics. Um, and those are easy to talk about, easy to implement. There's not a lot of reservation behind them, but increasingly we're seeing this world of technology evolve around us that puts people a little bit at unease. And things that I'm talking about are things like AI, cyber attacks. We've seen that come to our industry. We've seen some major cyber attacks in our industry in the past 12 months, I believe. And so these things are, at the same time that we all understand that we need to be in tech and we need to be harnessing those tools. It does open us up for things that maybe we don't understand and that might give us pause or reservation, and we might be intimidated by. And those are part of the things that we want to bring to the industry. Is we want to make cybersecurity, AI, website design, these things that are sometimes discouraging and intimidating to us in our industry. we want to make we want to give our industry the tools to talk about those, to think about those things, and to demystify the whole the whole subject, so that we can go into things not just sweeping it under the rug or putting the blinders on, but go into decisions in our everyday business in woodworking industry confidently.
So who should come to the Wood Tech Summit? Is it for the uninitiated folks, or the early adopters, or all of the above? Who's this for?
Well, that's a great question, and the short answer is that at first, for this first event, we're limiting it. There's only going to be 100 registrations available, so it's going to be a little bit first come first serve, but everybody should come. We're going to have a wide array of people at this summit. There's going to be, I mean, every type of woodworking business will be represented. There will be vendor types, there will be software types, there will be custom cabinet shop owners, there will be component manufacturer owners, there will be shop floor people. It's going to be something that everybody can get something out of. As long as you're in the woodworking industry, I think you'll find very valuable being a part of this. I would say, if you're considering coming, or sending people in your organization. I mean, obviously, people in leadership positions that have the ear to hear and understand and take back home and implement change. Those are the people you're going to want to send to this. But I do think everyone could get at least some sort of value out of it. It's going to be a really great event.
Now, what do they hope to get out of it? What are the deliverables?
Sure. So it's going to be from a few different angles. This event will be different from a lot of events in that there's not going to be a lot of just one speaker on the stage speaking to the audience. We're going to really we're going to leverage panel discussions, so we get lots of different perspectives, which is somewhat common in our industry. But then also we're going to mix that with straight up networking opportunities and also workshops. So there will be parts of this agenda that will be blocked out just for, hey, everybody pull out your computers. We're going to build an automated blah, blah, blah. Or we're going to look at cybersecurity in this way or that way. Or actually going to make some clicks and type some things. And you'll have deliverables, on the airplane ride home. You're going to be able to say, here's what I built, or here's what I am ready to build coming out of this conference.
So hands-on
automations.
Things.
Yeah. There's going to be some hands-on workshops, and those will be on our day 2, and there'll be actual deliverables out of those.
Wow, that's great. It's kind of like we were talking earlier, related to adopting new technology. I think a lot of the woodworkers seem hesitant to get out of their shops to network, with other shops. How do you convince them that it's worth it to leave the shop and come to this event?
Well, I'm one of those people that I would consider myself an introverted extrovert. So like it takes a lot of nudging to get me out of my chair where I know I'm productive, where I know my team needs me. So I'm with you if you are hesitant to go to yet another networking event. The way that I would convince them, and the way that I convince myself to go to things, is, have I ever done this before? Is there maybe something I'm missing? And if the answer is no, then I'm thinking, well, maybe there's something there that I'm going to need then. If I've been to an event 5 times in a row and I know what to expect, that's one thing, but this is brand new. So this is a really good opportunity for us to do a brand new event, to talk about brand new things in a brand new way. And that means that there's really no reason to miss out on that, because there's going to be things. And here's the other thing. I mean, when you go to an event and you know the speaker, you kind of know the talk track, there's predictability. We've got people coming in that are, CEOs of tech companies that are hackers. We're going to have people that know how to hack your data, talking to you about how they would do it, and reveal vulnerabilities. I mean, this is some exciting stuff that is a little bit different angle that we're not used to. So I would say don't miss out on that.
That sounds exciting.
Plus, if you are at all inclined to enjoy the snow or want to ski, even if you're good or have never tried it, that's a bonus too. And we're in a really cool split space in Ogden, Utah, and there's lots of great restaurants. It's a really cool little atmosphere. So, when we talk about little mini workations, it's a great workation.
Yeah, I'm not a skier, but I'm excited about this all the same. So, if you're a skier and like snow sports, then all the more reason to give it a try.
Exactly. Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
there'll
really
be good
looking.
food and good times and good networking opportunities as well. And like I said, it'll be different. I'm excited to really mix two worlds of mine that don't often mix. And that's this woodworking community that I love so much. And also, a lot of my tech friends that are running completely different types of tech companies, bringing their perspective to our industry. So, for example, we'll have a guy there that has revolutionized the funeral industry with some tech. He's going to be able to look at, and these guys I have lunch with these guys and they look at and they say, well, what is woodworking doing? Why do they do it that way? And it's really there. It'll be fun to see different perspectives, and when you hear it from somebody that's, really done a good job at it in a different industry, your wheels just really start turning. So it'll be fun.
I think that everybody needs somebody to sort of hit them upside the head every now and then and make them think different or look in a different direction.
That's right. And that's really what this is going to be, is a nice little slap upside the head with a tech, and then a warm little cupcake for the road and something to take home.
And skiing.
And skiing. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm really looking forward to it. And it's in March. Even though I don't ski, and thanks so much for cluing us in. I look forward for more conversations to come and some exciting exchanges in Ogden, Utah in March.
I appreciate it. Yeah, the Woodworking Network has been amazing, co-hosting this with us, and look for more information coming from them in the future. And yes, Tuesday, March 12th, 13th, and 14th. If you want to stay and ski, it's the 15th. So book a few days. Well, the 12th is just kind of a check-in. So 12, 13, 14, 15 is the full, but the classes, the real heavy stuff's 13 and 14. Skiing's on Friday extra, and check-in is on 12th. So come join us. We'd love to have you. It'll be a lot of fun.
And the website for signing up for this?
woodtechsummit.com. So
that's easy to remember.
Correct spelling on everything. TECH. So woodtechsummit.com.
Great. All right. Well, thank you much, Brady. See you in Ogden.
Okay. Thanks, Will.
That's it for today. If you're looking for more of our podcasts, you can find all of them at woodworkingnetwork.com/podcasts and in popular podcast channels. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Thanks again to today's sponsor, FDMC Magazine. If you have a comment or topic you'd like us to explore, contact me at will.sampson@woodworkingnetwork.com. Thanks for listening.